Tony D reviewing Robocop issue 8. Got the whole series. My man, shout out to Cyberman. Totally got me hooked on this. This particular run, it is fantastic. He told me that the covers were outstanding, and he was not wrong. Just feast on that for a little bit. Joshua Williamson doing the writing duties. Carlos Magno hitting those pencils. Marisa Louise, man, popping that color. This is a totally underrated color, but like, it's fantastic. We'll get into that. So issue 8, we were left off with Robocop in a trap. You know, speaking of colors, just a simple thing like the contrast with red and green. It's a basic artist thing, and it's on total display. Love the spiral to where we're right there with Lewis, you know, and the stance that she's in, the background. We have a damaged Robocop. Pretty dramatic. All these covers are like badass. I'm glad I have them. So let's get into this bad boy. You know, as far as an intro, so right now, Detroit's burning. Ed 2000 X's, they're on the rampage. And Robocop, he ain't asking questions anymore. He's delivering justice. And where the bullets fly, alliances crumble, and vengeance is taking the wheel. And you'll see that with Lewis coming right up. So once again, slick violence right out the gate, nothing but action. Very somatic with the paneling. Always have to bring that out. And this is a perspective of one of the bad guys, just a random bad guy. And I thought this was really clever by the writer. And you just have he can hear everything around him, just the chaos. And then it's like, bam, another potty mouth panel. Like the minute I saw that, I was like, oh shit. It is insane. And that's why I call them potty mouth panels. If you have any of your own, let me know. I totally dig them. So this trap, it's a trap, and Robocop don't care. He is out to deliver justice. You know, it'd be interesting to see how many times the word bang is used. That might be a good question for a giveaway. We shall see. I'm coming up with these little ideas, but back to the review. So he's got to help the police out. Totally love this shot of Ed. And it's just, you know, Robocop has been upgraded at this point. He has new legs. He's faster. I would say he's stronger. And I mean, this is brutal. Look at that. So that's what I was saying earlier, man. He ain't asking questions. He's delivering justice. And he's using him as a shield. It shows you that Robocop, he can get brutal. It's gotten to that point. Love this coloring. I always love how she mutes the background, even like right here, where what you need to see on display is there, but you still have your background. Cinematic paneling, it's all here, folks. Like, it just keeps going. You know, once you think that you've had enough, they just keep delivering. This is fantastic. I would love to get a hold of some original artwork. So, it's just relentless action. You know, there's not a whole lot of commentary. And that's great. That's the way it should be. It's more about action. It's more about the delivery of the action. It's a high-paced action book. And you're not going to find many more books that beats this. Oh, see right there. And then you go from, I love how the paneling is just like huge. And then you get to like this right here, like a very direct scene. And then he gives them the whole rundown of, in a court of law, you have the right to an attorney. You know, he does that whole thing and they're just like, fire. A lot of satire too. It's pretty cool. And then he just keeps going. Yeah, they're out of bullets. Go figure. So Ed 2000 X. There's like a bunch of them. See, here's another example of the muted background and the pop. There's your action. I focus on that quite a bit in these reviews, but that's okay, man. It needs to be on display and shouted out. Sometimes colorists don't get the attention they really deserve, I think, but yeah, I love the whole binary. Yeah, and Robocop is also fast. So his upgrades have really just stronger, faster, where it gives you, I mean, you have that whole sense of like he's winning now. Like the odds are, and I feel like I'm being tricked a little bit. Like, okay, I'm getting confident because he is easily winning these things. And so you have Killian, who is very slick, smart, and cunning. And he uses the press as a weapon. It's really clever. Joshua Williamson really took some thought on that antagonist. And it's cool to see like a human as the antagonist. You know, Robocop, just the way it is, it's human machine. That theme is always there. And so, Lewis just puts it on pop. In the last issue, she got a hold of some evidence which shows this execution right there. And this is where Killian really shines as a bad guy. He literally turns the crowd not with him to back with him. So he can, on his feet, he can think like that, and it's clever. So I mean, like, yeah, like, Killian don't, we believe you. And in a tech heavy environment, you can always say something's a lie and it's not real because you can doctor footage. I mean, it's almost too easy. Lewis is just, look at the expression. Now you get these, love the panel where you're focused on the expression. It's fantastic. They did such a good job with this. And this is only issue 8, people. Like, it goes to 12, I believe. So I got 4 more of these bad boys, some mammy jammies. So they're kind of winding down. So they have Killian somewhat in a bad spot. However, I think now this is something right here. Okay, now we're kind of getting into like this is taking a lot of money. And this is where you get that satire of a corporation and, hey, money's a thing and we can't keep funding this war. And even the upgrades set them back. So you're getting into that corporate stuff. And even like, dude, this is like insane. This is where you really see what kind of antagonist this guy really is. And the artwork is on point with the expressions on his face. Even that little look right there. And you can tell he just made a decision right here. They're talking smack. I don't even think he's listening to them. I think he just made a decision. And I don't think he's losing it. I think this is intentionally done. But I love the cinematic feel and the interaction where he might be losing it a little bit. I don't think he's losing it. I think he's just, it's the perfect thing to use as a distraction. But I think it's also cathartic for him, just to yell that out. And I mean, he just immediately turns the table. And there you go, that quick. This issue is very pivotal in how powerful this antagonist really is. And that, when I first started reading this, I will say this, as far as like him being human, I kind of had my doubts. I was like, I wanted to see the next, like an upgraded type of Robocop, kind of like Robocop 2, but this totally works. So he's mentioning he made a mistake. He went for the love of the people of Detroit, hoping to take down OCP, but he lost sight of his original plan, and it's to use Robocop to ruin OCP. Yeah, and it's like blip. So each issue, sometimes you get these issues that are like filler issues to kind of push a narrative along, but man, none of these have done that at all. It's fantastic. So on the outro, issue 8, it just doesn't fire bullets. It fires questions about the justice, about identity, about how far a machine can go before it forgets the man inside. And until next time, stay armored, stay angry, and stay tuned.